We have to be here right now really cautious with Bitcoin, because I think that there's a huge trap set for us as traders right now. And I'm gonna show you how that trap looks like and in which direction we are most likely are going with the price action over the next 24 to 48 hours. If you think that is interesting, make sure that you're subscribed to the channel, like this video, and also activate the bell so that you will never miss out on these really important updates. And now let me show you what I have actually found. I'm gonna start off here with the Bitcoin CME gap chart, CME chart. So here we still have two unfilled gaps and one just beneath us. We got really close this, really late yesterday and tried to fill it again and created a lower low compared to that low here. But overall, the bullish structure is still intact. Nothing has changed. So we have here a higher low, higher low, higher low, even here higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low. Here was then the first lower low, but here overall, the structure is still intact. You see what I mean? There's still an upward sloping trend on the chart, and unless that one is broken, we will continue to go higher. So of course I have to draw here now one. So I should draw a line like this here. With these touches here, we are still absolutely fine when it comes to the macro structure. When it comes to the CME chart, I believe that we could see here first a small correction again before we try then to go higher. And I'm going to show you in a second a bullish pattern that might get us all the way up to the CME gap just above us to $44,000. So make sure that you stay here with me. On this 4-hourly chart, we see that Bitcoin tried earlier to reclaim that support area that we broke in that violent move to the downside and actually failed to do so. Now we will get a retest, and then the question is, will we continue to go higher or will we get rejected and go lower? And that is basically already the trap that I'm seeing. Everybody and their mother is again long and not short. Even after that second drop here that got really close to the price of the first one that we had, and that concerned me a little bit because I have seen these kind of breakdowns over and over again. And normally what happens is when you get one like this, we are breaking down, we are starting to go sideways like this, and we get potentially a retest up here, and then we go again down. And that might be right now what is playing out here, unless Bitcoin is reclaiming $42,600, $43,100 at that price vicinity. If we're not doing that, then that is the most likely outcome for the time being. Hence why I believe that everybody that's long now might get here bull trapped when we are going up here, because we could see a scenario like this. And then most likely we are going to like 39,500, maybe even 38,150 before we then go back up. Here on the parabolic curve, nothing has changed. So I adjusted it a little bit, but we are still maintaining here to be in that parabolic move. That will only change completely if we start losing $39,800. But until then, we are still technically here in that parabola with the Bitcoin price action. Here on the daily chart, we have lost the upward sloping trend line, but we are still above the EMA ribbon, which is bullish for me. As long as we are staying above that, we can reclaim at any given moment this upward sloping trend line. But what I would also like to see on the daily is a reclaim of 43,181, because that will cement that we will test $48,000. It can already be considered if we get above 42,400, 42,500. If we get a daily close above that level, there's also a high likelihood that we will then continue to go here to the upside. Start dropping into the EMA ribbon. We have to get cautious here, but not too cautious. I will be not too much concerned if that's going to happen, because I believe the EMA ribbon will hold and the price action will only start, basically trade sideways until we see then the next move here to the upside. Here on the liquidations, I want to show you that Also here you can clearly see we are kind of here in the middle right now. There is a lot of liquidity beneath us to be taken out all the way to like $38,500, and also a lot of liquidity to be taken out all the way up to $46,200. And like I said, there is no clear direction right now when it comes to the price action. On the higher time frames, yes, direction would be to the upside. Lower time frames still need now again to reset a little bit after that small bounce here to the upside. So that took basically all the strength and momentum out of Bitcoin to come back up here. And we, like I said, most likely are going to roll over. The question is, how far are we going to roll over with Bitcoin before we see then here something like this in the best case scenario? If we are not seeing this and we're just rolling over, then we are going lower here. Also here on these liquidation heat maps, you see clearly that normally we should get upwards momentum because the liquidity is above us. All the liquidity to be taken out is above us here at $44,400. Alone there is over 100 here over the last couple of days. So there's a total of $230 million at that level. So if I go higher here, see there is so much stacked up. It's not funny anymore. So even if we only get up to $43,000 approximately, already there's over 300 million to be taken out in shorts if we get that short squeeze. So overall direction is still to the upside here on the macro structure. Only the lower time frames pointing to a potential move lower. Just want that you pay attention to that. So, and here's what I mean by that. Here on the 1 hourly chart, you can see that we are forming here descending broadening wedge where we are bouncing here between support and resistance. And at some point, we are going to break this to the downside if it continues to be bearish. So if we are breaking out of it to the upside, if we see price action breaking out here and doing something like this, then everything fine, we will continue to go higher. But if we keep getting rejected from this downward sloping resistance line, then at some point, we're gonna see this pattern playing out. And that is right now the most important pattern that you have to pay attention to here on the 1 hourly chart. Because if this, I can actually show you here. Let me show it to you. If we are losing that level here, I will start to flip short. If we are losing $41,400 with a 1 hourly close, then this might be the point where you want to open next time a short position. So my stop loss would be just above here, above that point, and I would short it at least to 39,500, something like this. So you see here for this short, it would be a 4.5% profit target, 1.3% stop loss, 20x leverage, 90% profit against 26% potential loss. That is a trade worth taking with the risk to reward ratio of 1 to 3.5 more or less. And guys, don't forget, if you want to trade these trades that I give you here absolutely for free, do this on BYBIT. There you still get $30,000 absolutely for free for using my specific link here. Or on FAIRDESK, there you get $120,000 absolutely for free, plus that you can copy trade me from tomorrow potentially onwards on FAIRDESK if you use this specific link, or you trade on and also with FAIRDESK, if you're in the UK or in the US, you don't need the VPN or to complete KYC to trade on FAIRDESK, which makes it really, really attractive. Or you can use BITGET. There you also get $30,000 plus 20% on the initial deposit that you can use for trading purposes and withdraw then the profits out of it, but also only with this link here. So now when we go back to Bitcoin, to the Bitcoin dominance, you see the Bitcoin dominance is bouncing up here to the upside at 53%. Remember, I told you that yesterday I was expecting that we are seeing this move here to 53%, and I would like to see this trend to continue to the downside, but we had here now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 consecutive red candles to the downside. So at some point, the dominance need to bounce it to the upside, which is coinciding with Bitcoin going up a little bit, which is fine. I still believe that if Bitcoin is not going above $45,000, we are not seeing again a Bitcoin coming up to this level up here to like 54, 55%. If we see a rotation start happening in altcoins from Bitcoin into altcoins, then we can expect the 52% level to be broken, and then the real altcoin season will actually be happening, where we see double-digit gains on a single day across the board for most of all altcoins. When it comes to the total market cap, here we also see the market cap is in between the altcoin season resistance and the underlying resistance. We're like in between, which is fine. Here also, I would like to see, worst case tomorrow, a potential reclaim attempt of this resistance area here from $1.55 trillion to $1.625 trillion. Just an attempt, that's enough for me. Just that altcoins pump a little bit. And then there we stay here in that range until Bitcoin made its final move, and then the rotation starts, and then we break out here for a short period of time before we then again roll over, and most likely this level will then act as support at that moment in time. Then I want to touch here really quick on Ethereum. I got yesterday stopped out but in profit on my Ethereum trade that I had. My take profit was here around $2,250. Sorry, my stop loss. Something else that I wanted to point out for Bitcoin and Ethereum, it applies to both. I just saw it again, I forgot it. Here on the 1 hourly chart, you can make it out more or less already that we have here a potential inverse head and shoulders pattern. On Bitcoin, we have the same thing. So if the head and shoulders pattern is playing out, then the bearish bias that I given you on Bitcoin and for Ethereum is thrown out of the window, because that price target for Ethereum will bring us back to $2,330. I'm just gonna go quick back here to Bitcoin, to a lower time frame, to show it to you also over there. Here, technically, we need just to complete the right shoulder, and then we would have here the same thing. And there's also a bullish trade that we can take. That would be the next obvious next bullish trade to $44,000 if we break above, if we break the neckline and then say above $42,000 for Bitcoin. So but now back to Ethereum. Here we need to reclaim $2,235. That is right now the point of control for Ethereum. And then I would like to see a pop and retest of $2,360 from that range here. So basically that we do something like this and then continue higher. That is what I'm looking out for Ethereum. Here on the 1 hourly chart, we see downwards momentum on stochastic RSI that might continue for a couple of hours, even though, also the 4 hourly is slowly rolling over. We see this also on Bitcoin, and that's what's concerning me here right now, that we most likely see the bearish scenario playing out. And that's why you should not get too bullish and get trapped in long positions right now, because there is a high potential that this is not over, and that we are revisiting here the lows on Ethereum and on Bitcoin that we created yesterday before we go then finally back up. So I gave you all the levels for Ethereum and Bitcoin, from which point onwards this will change. But for now, we have to be a little bit cautious and bearish here. Guys, that's it already for today's episode. I hope you enjoyed it. Please make sure that you smash up the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and I'll see you then again tomorrow.